Hate to be the bad news badger here, or is it bad news Basil? I can't keep up with the nonsense of Star Wars. Folks, we're here to tell you, Dave Filoni has slammed the door shut on the rumors that George Lucas might be returning. You can toss away any hopes of him buying back Star Wars. He's not even going to be coming through the door to help out. That's what Dave Filoni, the man behind Leslie Headland and the Acolyte, is saying. We've got it. We've got the interview. We'll play it. You'll see it right now. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we believe in explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve. It is important. We think entertainment is just ahead of where the culture is going. So that's where we're flowing every single day with videos going out to you and everyone you know, and viewership increasing all the time. Thank you, folks, for a record-breaking June. You can help us continue setting records by clicking the like button. Today we're going to be talking about Dave Filoni, and he is not giving any credence to the rumors that George Lucas might return. We'll show you how he handled that in an interview, and we'll do it right now. I'd love to get Paulie's take on this. This is sort of the second part of what I'd like to discuss about Star Wars today. It has to do with someone who often wears a hat, but not nearly as well as you, Paulie. And it's Dave Filoni talking about George Lucas's potential return to Star Wars. CBR has this story. A lot of people are covering it. Guess what? Dave Filoni is essentially shutting the door on George Lucas ever returning. We've said that it's incredibly unlikely. There were some rumors out there that George Lucas was going to come back, that he was going to buy Star Wars. We've said no. But Dave Filoni pretty much cuts that off. There's just no way it's going to happen. Let me read a little bit of this, and then, Paul, I'd like your take on
Sure.
Dave Filoni and where Star Wars is going right now with the obsession of witches instead of Sith. Dave Filoni addressed the low possibility of George Lucas returning. It starts off with, says, despite George selling Lucasfilm to Disney in 2012, the possibility of him returning to Star Wars remains a topic of interest. Here's what Filoni said. He says, he has a museum to finish, which is going to be a phenomenal experience and project for everyone to see. It never ceases to amaze me how George just gives, always, in his whole life. Whether it's the jobs we all get to have when he's gone, telling stories in a galaxy he created, or building a museum so many kids can experience art, narrative art, and be inspired by that art. A lot of art there, and maybe someday tell stories themselves. He's just always giving, and so I'm very cautious. I've had a lot of mentoring from him, and the answer is yes, I do every now and then, but it's got to be something really important for me to go and seek him out now. Now, that's in regard to whether or not George Lucas was going to return to Star Wars in any way. Finally, when he was pressed a little bit more, he said, or he was asked, would you say no? And he said, we rent the building I work in from George. So he has all the keys anyway. He can come right in. He has the pass. I'll tell you, whatever he would come up with would be different, which is not the highest praise in the world. So he's asked, is George Lucas ever going to come back to work on Star Wars? And he answers by talking about whether or not he ever seeks his advice. Paulie, I think people are tired of Filoni. I think that Filoni's movement from cartoons to live action has gone about as poorly as it possibly could. What's your take, Paulie, on the direction of Star Wars under Filoni?
Look, you got to get rid of everyone, top to bottom. Filoni, Kennedy, all those jokers. I've never seen something so. It's been 10 years, a little over 10 years since KK and the Disney sold. I mean, it's been one disaster after another. Proof's in the pudding. It's, we can judge it by the work. I can't imagine how dysfunctional, just from between garbage media to real, sites like you guys and the Film Threat covering this, how dysfunctional this has all gotten. What's really behind the scenes at Lucasfilms? What's going on? Yeah, we know the bodies, all that stuff, but that's just one part. There's so many dysfunctions, like almost every day. I don't know. So I've stopped believing anything right now. I'm done with any of that. What I see is absolute just disastrous storytelling. And at the end of the day, that really is all I care about. So my thing is, it's never going to happen. Maybe in the near future is it needs to be sold, and maybe there's something to salvage, because they've done the opposite, right? They've actually killed when we say, "Oh, Star Wars is dead," it's like we're not trying to be cute. It's like they've killed the IP. They've killed the heroes. They killed the hope. They've killed the Jedi. I mean, they're literally right now destroying the lore of the Jedi. And you're asking me, like, how do you feel about Filoni? F Filoni. Okay, and that's me being very nice here on this channel.
F for Filoni,
because
yes,
because I'm not. I tend to have a loose lip on my channel, but what has he done? Okay, he's entertained the kiddies with the Clone Wars, cool, but whatever he's shown me, I haven't been entertained to where it stays with me. Maybe a nice episode or a good scene here and there, but it's just getting too much, guys. It's getting too much. It's just one disappointment after the other, and at the end of the day, it's all about the work.
Well, Filoni claims, and a lot of people that are fans of his claim that he was, some Padawan to George, and I think that
the
hysterical part of that is that, like,
stuff.
The proof is in the pudding. You can tell them by their fruits, and you can just look at his body of work within the franchise ever since George exited, and you can tell, no, that's bull. I can look at you weren't paying attention to anything other than, oh, they have lightsabers, cool. Oh, the Force exists, cool. That doesn't even qualify as the bare minimum amount of paying attention to this franchise. If you are going to consider yourself somebody's like protege, somebody's follow up, right? The person that inherits the keys to the kingdom. He has none of that. He's shown none of that. He's a hack. His one big contribution to the franchise that people wound up mostly warming up to was Ahsoka. That's all he has. And I know there's still people that don't care for her. I'm kind of indifferent. I don't really care one way or the other, but that's kind of like the best he's got. And that's what he's tried to ride for the rest of his tenure within the franchise.
But he's even ruined his own creation. With his live adaptation of Ahsoka, he even ruined that.
Yeah,
you ruined your own stuff.
It was a wasted opportunity because Rosario Dawson's a great actress. She could have played the character perfectly.
She wasn't in the TV show.
She was not. She was
competent. I don't think she's a great actor. I mean, she's competent and she's got a great screen presence and she's gorgeous. But that's different than being a great actor. You know what I mean? I mean, she's competent. But what you saw was someone that was handcuffed in her own leading role in that TV show. Just in the moment, handcuffed as an actor, Andrew, where all she was told to do was pose here, pose there.
Stand here with your arms crossed,
and that's
for the 8 millionth time.
That's it.
Good job, great show, 10 out of 10.
So question for you guys then. I think what Filoni has done is he's introduced significant brand confusion. There's iconography that makes a brand stick with people. Star Wars, that iconography is lightsabers, Jedi, Sith. Red lightsabers equal bad. Blue and green equals good. If you don't have ships that are cool and new and giant robots walking around, you don't understand the franchise and you don't understand how the merchandising works. Filoni has turned this into space witch lesbians and evil twin butt baby parent traps. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen. What do you guys make of Disney allowing Star Wars to be transformed from Jedi versus Sith into nonstop witchcraft crap?
Yeah,
Filoni's wife is a witch. Isn't she?
Yeah,
that's what I keep hearing.
Yeah, she's officially been part of a coven and all that kind of stuff. And she's a writer for Star Wars.
Guys, we're surprised.
I think it sucks and it's dumb. So there you go.
That's about as concise as it gets.
It sucks and it's dumb and people don't like it. 14%, right, Paulie?
And it's too high.
Yeah, that's about 14.5% too high.
The good news is if the witchcraft fails, they can fall back on Force Fu. Because I can't think of anything better to do than to use a new fighting form that gets rid of lightsabers. Your best toy opportunity in the
I have to say, this is the stupidest thing. I've said this on many streams, but if you take Kung Fu and then you take the idea of impact out of Kung Fu, why is that better in any way? That takes the funnest part of ninjas and Kung Fu and karate and just removes it entirely. Say, oh no, you'll stop just short of hitting them and you'll push them with the Force. It's
Well, these people are
completely like-
these people
Oh,
are
I see what
completely
you mean.
creatively
Yeah.
bankrupt. On top of not giving a hoot about the franchise or the fan base, they actually hate the fan base, and that's very, very clear based on the stuff that they put out. They've turned it, as so many people in Hollywood have, and especially people over at Disney. They've turned it into just a platform for their own ideological views, their own, preferences and all of that, whether it's political or social, doesn't matter. That's what it is to them. It's just a platform. They use it as their mouthpiece. And on top of that, they also then, because of the current state of society, they also get the, I guess we'll call it benefit. They get the benefit of being able to fall back on that as the scapegoat, as the excuse. So when it does poorly, they get to point at Star Wars fans, the people you should be trying to get the money from. Like, we're willing to spend a lot of money as fans. Like, most fans, not like Twitter fans that'll buy maybe a pop figure and a t-shirt at best that they'll forget that they own a year later. I'm talking fans, people who are willing to spend a lot of money, go see the films multiple times in theaters, wear the t-shirts not out of irony or because it's a trend, but because they love this stuff, and display the stuff all throughout their, their office space, their man cave, their house, whatever. They use this stuff as a scapegoat to just be able to, they're just racist, or they're just sexist, or they just don't like this type of person, they don't like this minority, whatever it is. Look, it's Chris and Paulie both touched on this. It's about the storytelling. You can give me a black female-led or Asian female-led or whatever Star Wars production. I do not care. Make the story good and make the character likable. Those are two things that Disney has proven themselves to be completely incapable of.
All right, folks, we've come to the end yet again. We had a grand time with you. We hope you did as well. And folks, if you like this kind of content, remember, you can subscribe to this channel for even more, usually 3 times a day, as well as our sister channel, That Park Place, and search for @ThatPodPlace, and you'll find all kinds of long format content with even more from our channels that you will surely love. Folks, it's a great time right here, and it's a great time because you're here. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, it's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below, let us know your thoughts, and tell us, are you shocked, are you dismayed that George Lucas has gone away and is not going to be returning, at least according to the Chief Creative Officer of Lucasfilm? We'd love to know. All right, folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.